Shalom, shalom, Israel, brother Amos with the Watchman for Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, to the brothers pushing his truth and strong sincerity, laboring on the highways and byways, making their body a living sacrifice, doing all they can for the elect, for the nation of Israel. In truth and sincerity, I want to give y'all a strong shalom. Continue to endure, continue to labor, continue to try to bring forth good fruit. To the women holding it down in the household, reverencing their husbands, taking care of the children, being a teacher of good things to the other women. I want to give y'all a strong shalom as well. And to the young men and women coming out of the world, forsaking the ways of the world, and coming back to serving our God and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments and his faith, I want to give y'all a strong shalom. Be as a church Berea, search the scriptures to see what you were taught is true, or if brothers speaking of their own belly. Right, I'm not going to make this video too long. We're going to speak on individualites, right? Because a lot of keyboard warriors, Keybrews, individualites, people who trash talk over social media, over the comment section on videos, right? The Lord did not command us to be individualites. He didn't command us to sit in our homes and type out breakdowns and criticisms that's not profitable to the nation, right? We're supposed to be congregating together, right? We're supposed to be subduing our own thoughts, subduing our own feelings, and gathering together in these last days, right? You got to remember, Yahushua died for the whole nation. He didn't die for 2 individuals, 12 individuals. He died for all Israel, right? And the Lord even needed help carrying his cross, right? You can't be an individualite in this thing. Right, let's go to Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 24. We'll start at 23. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise. Right, so you got to hold fast to these things that you were taught, the faith. Whenever somebody asks you, why do you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you got to be able to tell them, this is why I believe the miracles, right? I understand Deuteronomy 28, whatever you say, I have the faith, right? These things is going to help you hold fast the profession of your faith. Verse 24, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, right? It's a good work to provoke your brother to be together with brothers, to congregate. It's a good work to provoke sisters to congregate with other sisters, right? Those are good works. Telling our people to come from behind the keyboards, right? Come from sitting behind social media all day and get together with like-minded people. That's provoking our people to good work, right? Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, right? We can't forsake the assembling, right? It's very important to congregate for feast days, for the Sabbath, right? Just to be around people. Being around your brothers and your sisters, it boosts up your faith. Right, makes you want to go hard. It gives you a small glimpse of how the kingdom's going to be. Nothing but brotherly and sisterly love, right? It should boost your faith, right? Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another. And so much the more as you see the day approaching, right? We got to exhort one another because the days are quickly approaching. Prophecy is unfolding like books turning pages, right? You got to be able to see these things. You got to be able to come together, right? Let's go to Zephaniah 2:1. The scriptures tell you this, right? And the Lord is not dealing with somebody who feels like they got all the knowledge. They don't need to be around brothers, right? Who takes a talent and hides it under the ground? That's a wicked servant right there. So to take the talent that you gain, right? Come around brothers, speak with brothers, share the knowledge that you have. Right, this is Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Right? You got to gather together. Right? The Lord's not saying gather together just to have a good time. But you never know who you're going to need in these last days. You never know who you're going to run into in these last days. You never know who the Lord's going to put in the forefront when you out running in the wilderness away from Esau. That's why it's important to gather together. Right, get to know your brothers and sisters, right? Because the Lord got us, but we got to have us, right? This isn't a camp banging thing, we all Israel. We all in this together. So we are commanded to gather together. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chafe, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you, right? So gather together before the Lord gets angry. The Lord loves to see brotherly love. The Lord loves to see sisterly love. And if you denying what the Lord loves, then you hate the Lord, right? All Israel should be trying and should be perceiving what the Lord loves and tries to magnify that, right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 4. We're going to go to verse 9. It's a classic. Two are better than one, right? That's practical knowledge. Everybody knows two is better than one. You go faster on a bicycle than you do on a unicycle, right? You're going to run a race faster if you got two legs rather than one, right? Because they have good reward for their labor, right? Coming together with your brothers is laboring, right? You're going to have a good reward of that, right? Whether it be you picking fruit and you got somebody holding the basket while you taking out the tree, right? You got somebody with the axe and they splitting wood. You got one person picking it up. It's a good reward. Verse 10, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. And that's key. If you fall in this truth, because a righteous man falleth 7 times. It's a complete amount of time of falling because you're in this corruptible flesh. You're going to fall short all the time. But if you have your brothers around you, they're going to lift you up. They're going to restore you to such as one. And that's the importance of having people around you, right? For if they fall, the one will lift his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another one to help him up. Right? If you don't have somebody there to reach out a hand to pick you up, you're going to stay on the ground, right? Nobody's going to pity you because you put yourself in that position, right? You cutting off your bridges, you talking smack online. Right, the Lord is telling you to get together, come together, and two is better than one. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? Right, you're gonna freeze to death if you try to do it alone. If it's two people, you're gonna have at least a little bit of body heat. Right, say it's a snowstorm, you got two people, you're gonna last way longer than just you by yourself. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And threefold cord is not quickly broken, right? So a cord that's threaded together twice is very strong, but threaded together 3 times, you're not going to be able to break that cord, right? This is simple. What's the word I want to use? Right? It's common sense. Common sense. The more you have, the better things are, right? So gather together, Israel. Don't play these games. Right? Because the Lord will sift you out if you want to be an individual. Like you want to do your own thing because you want to be the HNIC. Right? You forsaken brotherhood. Right? The Lord isn't playing with that, man. He's looking for men who want to see Israel rise up from the lower state that they're in. Bring them out from being in the dust. And the only way you can do that is be a man among the people. Right? This is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 17. Honor all men. Right? That's easy. You got to honor all men. Love the brotherhood. Fear Yahweh, honor the king. Right? The Lord told you to love the brotherhood. Right? It should be a joyful thing when you know the Sabbath is coming together, the feast days are coming. You get to see your brothers. You get to kick it. You get to have a good time with them. You have to love the brotherhood. Right? And yes, build brotherhoods on social media, but don't just sit behind social media. You got to get around brothers. You got to be around sisters. Because if you're not, you're going to fall. You're going to be a castaway. You're going to fall to the wayside, and the next person is going to step up in your place because you've forsaken what the Lord commanded you to do. Right? And I'm going to end off with this. Right? This is Sirach, chapter 25, verse 1. And 3 things was I beautified and stood up beautiful both before Yahweh and men. The unity of brethren, right? That's beautiful to the Lord. The unity of brethren. Brethren coming together to unite for a cause, to serve the Lord. Brothers coming together to serve the Lord and do what he commanded us. Is nothing more beautiful in the sight of the Lord than that. The love of neighbors and a man and a man and a wife that agree. right? The love of neighbors is beautiful, and a marriage in perfect unity and perfect harmony, right? The Lord loves it in perfect order. That's how things should be. Everything done decently and in order, right? In brotherly love, congregating, and these things are such as in order, and it's good and plentiful in the sights of the Lord, right? With that, I'm going to say shalom, Kwame.